it's the whole point about it, exactly, which is people don't want to talk about it. Reasonably well-functioning people up until that stage of their life have got no history of mental health problems, and suddenly, whether it's a crashing depression or just, you know, this sort of psychological paralysis or just not being able to hold it all together, I mean, it's a big, big, big deal.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I think you get to all of the other things. You know, fortunately, Tanya and I were able to deal with both custody and financial staff outside the court system. But watching, you know, two groups of people who formerly loved each other tear each other apart as the friends play stacks on the mills and the two sets of lawyers play stacks on the mill. I mean, that's just in a 21st century rich society that is the process that actually comes about in this situation where these people are absolutely tormented. I think it's hellish. The problem is I can't find any path to actually improving the system, even though everybody agrees it would be of great benefit to society if we could.
Yeah, I suppose that's what I'm chasing. You know, not I'm chasing, I'm, you know...
Yeah, a better way to do it.
A better way to do it.
Well, there's certainly, I mean, the answer is there is, without a question of a doubt, a better way to do it. The question is, how do you fix it? And, I mean, maybe this isn't for the interview, maybe it is, depending on... But ultimately what happens, as somebody described to me, which is everyone understands about mixed feelings. Everyone understands about ambivalence. And as somebody, one of the people who helped me through it said, remember that the opposite of love is not hate. It's indifference. Love and hate, all those strong emotions, they're contained together. And then what happens is that with those mixed feelings, but strong feelings, you get friends and lawyers jumping on the hostile polarity of the ambivalence and just tearing people apart. The way to fix this is if two loving people say, hey, we're coming together and we love each other, and we're going to commit now that if it ever comes unstuck, we're actually going to go to an arbitrator who's going to actually say, hold on, the person who's being most unreasonable is going to lose on any one of the points. You would drive the two parties back together to force them to be more reasonable. Whereas the problem is the court system and the way that the friends work and everything drive people to take the most extreme position, because the answer is you're likely to get 20 or 30% of whatever you ask for. And so it just drives people to be in a situation where the more horrible a person is, the more likely they are to prevail, as opposed to the more reasonable somebody is, the more likely they are to prevail. And so the behavioural psychologists have got a phrase for this. It's called a temporal inconsistency. So what you want to do when you start is completely inconsistent with your behaviour when you're in it. And we've got to find some way to solve that. But we just don't seem to be able to have any of the people doing it. And then the whole sort of, you know, marriage breakdown industry congeals around making this stuff go on and on and on, and it's just hellish.